guys, welcome back to the Player YouTube channel, and thanks for joining me today on what is going to be a very fun and interesting day, because we're doing something a little bit different to what we normally do. As you know, if you're a regular viewer of the Player YouTube channel, we review cars, we review boats, we review planes, you know, things like that, but they're all mainly brand new. And a couple of weeks ago we started a series on used cars, and the first car that we did was a Vauxhall / Opel Corsa. And if you click up here now, you can see that that's quite an interesting video as a first-time car, pitfalls in looking, you know, what to look for if you're buying a second-hand car, a used car. It's quite a good video for that. So today I wanted to go and have a look at another used car, and I rang a friend of mine, Richard Baxter, who, if you are again a regular viewer of the Play, you might remember we've done a couple of videos with Richard. We did one on an E-Type Jag that he owns. Click up here now and you can see that one. And we've also done one on a German touring car, a DTM car, which is a BMW M3 race car, which Richard resurrected, as we say, and brought back to life. And it's an amazing car. We met him up at the London Classic Car Show this year. That's back in February 2020. Richard's an incredible guy. He does lots of work on BMWs. He is Professor BMW. Let's just face it, that's who he is. And I love him to bits. He's a great mate, and he's going to show us today a wonderful car that could be, one is an excellent used car, second-hand car, but also number two could be something to invest in for the future. And there's something to think about when it comes to classic cars. So we're going to have a look at Richard's M3 1995 BMW, and I can't wait to have a look around it, and Richard's going to explain all the pitfalls in buying a second-hand used M3 BMW. Let's get up there, let's get in Richard's garage, and let's take a look around. Right, so here we are at Richard's, well, we've affectionately called it the Playroom, the Player Room. You know, all sort of works, doesn't it? And there she is. That's the car that we've come to talk about today. So all I need to do now is find Richard. Richard!
Hello.
Aha, here he is.
Hello, Andy.
He's just putting the kettle on. That's so British.
You want a brew?
I'd love a brew, yeah, super. Thanks, Rich. Right, so he's going to put the kettle on, and in the meantime, we'll take a look around the car. Right, so our very British cup of tea. Nice to see you again, Richard.
Yeah.
And
Same thing.
what a lovely specimen of a BMW. That's about the best thing I can say about this. This is the M3, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 3 litre 1995.
Lovely.
M3.
3 litre, because
3
weren't they
litre.
all 3.2, I thought?
3.2 came in a year later.
Oh, okay, from 96 onwards.
96 onwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what makes this car so special? I mean, I know you mentioned to me off camera that these cars are becoming very fashionable again. They're on the rise. So is this something I should be looking at to invest in potentially, an M3?
Yeah, is it one of those things that a car sort of goes through a cycle, it gets forgotten about, and then people grow up and
Yeah.
have a bit of money to spend, and they think, oh, I had a great M3 back in the day, I'd like to get another one.
So it's like more sort of reminiscing back from sort of mid-90s when we were all doing really well, and
Yeah,
this was the type of car. I mean,
I think
it's not
so.
really a family car, is it? It's more of a, because it's only a 2-door.
So it's two-door. They did do a 4-door.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
right,
Not many.
okay. Yeah,
Not many of them. So it was a bit of a sports coupe.
right.
And I think the M3 moniker, because of the previous generation, was the smaller left-hand drive car.
Right.
And so this became the second generation M3, and everybody was kind of keen to get into the 6-cylinder sporty BMW.
Which is what this is.
Which is what this is, yeah.
Lovely. Straight 6.
Straight 6, pretty unloved in the, well, I wouldn't say unloved because they sold lots of them, but in the press, they got slated with this car. They said nothing like the M3. It shouldn't have been called an M3.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Should have been a 330 CSI or something like that, like
How
the
strange.
next step down.
Yeah.
I think it's because the other M3 had been such a racy little number.
Yeah, yeah.
Won lots of races, championships. It was very tactile.
Yeah.
This car was a bit more of a cruiser. It's a bit heavier, and a bit more of a kind of a kind of cruising machine.
So, in the opinion of Professor BMW himself, what should I be paying for a car like this in this sort of condition? Because this is pretty mint, isn't it? There's not a lot you can.
It's not bad. This one's still got original paintwork,
Right.
and it's done about 110,000 miles.
Has it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they, if they were well serviced and well looked after, then they lasted, and they still look nice today. But so this one would be somewhere between 14,000 perhaps.
UK pounds.
UK pounds.
Yeah. So it's around $20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you starting to look at something that's really low mileage, you could be up into 20s, early 20s.
Again, UK pounds. So
Yeah.
we're talking. So there's a reasonable investment opportunity
Yeah,
to
great.
buy one of these.
I think it's a really good investment opportunity because people are really interested in them. And of course, at the time, no, it wasn't like its previous generation car. It was heavier,
Yeah.
more of a cruising machine. But by comparison to the cars that came later, it's actually quite light, and also it's got no driver aids.
Oh, so what? There must be airbags in there, surely.
There's airbags, but there's no traction control.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, none of that sort of nannying stuff. It's a driving car.
Oh, right. Okay. So you can have a lot of fun with this.
You have a lot of fun with this. Yeah.
Could it also be used as like a track day car as well?
A lot of them are,
Right.
and particularly in the race series, this is the go-to car
Okay. So
because they were they dropped down the food chain, became worth nothing.
Yeah.
£3,000-4,000 you could pick one up,
yeah, sure.
rip all the inside out, sell it off,
Yep.
and then fit racing suspension,
But that's sort of like going a
roll
little bit.
cage, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you're buying a car like this. What should you be looking for? Obviously, service history, I would have thought. And I mean, can we take a look under the bonnet
Yeah.
and stuff like that? Guys, come and have a look under the bonnet here. Richard will lift it up for us, hopefully.
I think the
Can you do it with one hand, or do I need to hold your
There you
tea?
go.
Oh, look at that. So there we go. That is a proper unit, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
wow. So as I say, like not the pitfalls in buying one of these, but if we're going to start thinking we're going to spend £12,000-14,000, it's quite a lot of money to shell out for a car of this age. What should I be really, when I'm lifting the bonnet like this, should I be looking for any signs of wear and tear, or?
It's very difficult to. I mean, the engines are pretty bulletproof.
Oh, okay.
They're good.
Right.
The big thing about the this particular model was the Vanos system, which is here.
The what system?
Vanos, which is variable.
Vanos.
Vanos.
Okay. All right.
It's basically variable cam timing, so that the camshafts are normally fixed with the drive of the engine.
Yeah, I get that.
With these, they can slip a little bit, so that when you want more power, the camshaft will adjust it
Okay.
to give it better performance, and also gives better fuel economy as
So
well.
does it? It's obviously got a computer that works that out on
It's
board.
got something very clever in here. It's a kind of slip. It's almost like a limited slip
Right. Okay. For the cam.
for the camshaft. Yeah.
Interesting.
So on the 3 litre, which this one is,
Yeah.
it had a single Vanos system
Right.
just on the inlet. But then when they came out with the 3.2 engine,
Yep.
they put them on both the inlet and the exhaust,
Okay.
and they tend to be a bit more problematic on the 3.2.
Is it an expensive thing to remedy if there's a problem with it, or?
Not now. I think now there's lots of people who are
Right.
actually come up with kits, and particularly the oil seals.
Right.
Getting
Okay.
the oil seals in something called Viton
Yep.
is important. And no, apart from that, they're very reliable engines, actually. It's a great engine.
So it's not too much to worry about. What
No.
about electronics wise? I mean, I know that sometimes older cars suffer with the electronics, don't they?
I can only speak from my experience with them, and they've been very reliable.
Right.
I think the first thing to say is that service history throughout its life is really the
It's really
number one
important.
key.
Yeah. So if you can get a full service history, it's great.
If you can get a full BMW service history, you're absolutely laughing. But there's a lot of good specialists around, and if they follow the BMW servicing regime, the cars will be very good. There's some very good people around.
If you took this into BMW and asked them to service it, what sort of money would it cost you for a full service on a car like this?
Well, you've got three different service levels. You've got all service.
Yep.
Then it goes into inspection 1.
Okay.
Inspection 1 and all service is going to be around about 120.
Okay. And that is literally just draining the oil, putting new fluids in.
Yeah, and then they go through all sorts of things and check. They do some visual checks, particularly on brakes.
So if you bought one and it sounded pretty good, you could get away with 120 quid, run it into your local BMW dealer, have the oil change, they check a few fluids, and
that would be a good thing to do, actually.
So 120 is around about, what, $160?
Yeah.
I imagine that's throughout the world. If you go to BMW, it's going to be pretty similar.
I can imagine it's going to be going to be pretty similar. There's quite a debate about the oil that people use in the engines.
Right.
I think, from my own personal understanding, is that you don't particularly want to go fully synthetic, because the engines were sort of designed in the 80s.
Yeah.
And therefore we're into sort of semi-synthetics.
Yeah, not fully synthetic.
Not fully synthetics.
Yep.
Otherwise, you start to find, oil leaks and that sort of thing.
You were saying about, the 3 levels of service.
3 levels
so we got
of service.
the oil, the next one.
Inspection 1.
Inspection 1, yeah.
Inspection 1 is going to be, is the next level up. They're going to be going through the whole car, brakes, door hinges, and a lot of inspection work, just checking things out.
Right.
It'll be another oil change, and then you'll go for another oil service.
Right.
In between inspection 1, oil service, then you're going to inspection 2.
Okay.
Which is the major.
How much was
service.
inspection 1? Do you reckon?
Inspection 1, I think, if it's going to be BMW, it's probably going to be something around about £400.
Okay. And this is more like what we could be talking in layman's terms, 6 months interim service.
Depends on the mileage.
Of course.
So it's all mileage related.
6 months or 6,000 miles, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's
a lower one.
It's quite a clever system, because if you're a really hard driver, the inspection light will come on. You've got a series of lights in the dashboard.
Yeah.
And they go down so you can see how you're going. But if you're a hard driver, it's going to come around more quickly.
Fair enough. And then inspection 2.
Inspection 2 is the big service.
That's the money.
Which is the money. It's going to be. It's amazing the difference in prices, but BMW is probably going to be around about 600.
Okay. So plus
pounds.
parts.
Plus parts.
So you're looking probably, if you had quite a few, like oil filters,
air filters.
Yeah.
And anything they're changing is going to be sealing washers.
So,
etc.
Guys, I'm reckoning on, if Professor BMW is right here, about 800 plus the tax. Yeah. So about $1,000 to those of you across the pond. I'm loving talking about this car. I want to show a little bit more around the car. Have a look at some of the bits like inside as well, because I know you've mentioned that.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut there, guys, and then Richard and I are going to jump in the car and show you what it's like inside a 1995 M3. Right, so here we are inside the BMW M3, and you were, well, before we talk about the dashboard lights you were telling me about for the services and stuff, I noticed this is a manual. Were all of these manual cars?
Most of them are manual. They came out with something called the SMG, which was the first sort of sequential kind of gearbox.
Right, okay.
Towards the end of its life, which was the back end of the 90s.
Yep.
But it was a very crude system, and everybody wants to go for the manual.
Yeah. I mean, what is it, a 6-speed or 5?
Okay, so on the 3 litre it's a 5-speed box.
Okay.
And on the 3.2 it's a 6-speed box.
Okay.
But the 5-speed box is reckoned to be the nicer box. It's lighter.
Yep.
More snickety.
And obviously you, when we're talking second hand, again, to me, gearbox problems are normally money. So what should we be looking for? Anything in particular when we're trying one of these out? Is sloppy or something?
Yeah, well, I think the linkages can get a bit worn, which is below here.
Yep.
Just where it's doing all its
is that easily fixable?
Yeah, that's quite easily fixable. I think you can get gearbox problems, perhaps more on the 6-speed than the 5-speed.
Okay. What about on the auto box?
Auto boxes can be quite problematic, but they're mostly little servos and solenoids rather, should I say, to do the gear changing for you.
To be honest, I think
clunky.
if I was going to have a car like this, I'd want the manual.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any real option on that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not very popular, the SMG, I
Yeah.
have to say. It was a bit slow, but it was definitely part of its era.
But you still get everything in here, don't you? Do you get aircon with this car?
You could do. This one doesn't actually have aircon.
Okay.
But mostly they did come with aircon.
Yeah.
There's always an optional extra.
I think manual handbrake there as well.
Handbrake, yeah.
Proper handbrake.
I think the driving position of the car is absolutely superb.
Yeah, it looks like you're in a proper sort of
it's
racing.
very comfortable. You can drive for hundreds of miles and it feels very, very comfortable.
And these seats are spectacular, aren't they?
The seats are really the thing. They had a nickname called Vader seats because of Star Wars. This headrest here moves up and down, looks like the Vader head.
Oh yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
This one was this particular car's got cloth and Amretta, like a fake suede on the side here. Most of them tended to be leather,
right?
But for me, this combination is the best of the lot because it's not cold in the winter, and also you don't tend to slide around like you do on leather.
In the summer as well, when it gets hot and you get in it and you feel like you've just burnt your backside off.
Yeah, and I think the way it looks, the cloth seems to last and look better.
Yeah.
I mean, 110,000 miles, it look like new.
It's not bad.
If it was leather, you'd find there's lots of graining.
But this
and
whole interior for 110,000 miles is absolutely immaculate.
It's amazing, isn't it?
How much did one of these cost when it was brand new?
I think they were about 36 grand.
So back in 1995, 92, let's say, when it came out, that's a lot of money for a car, wasn't it?
It was a lot of money, yeah.
It's probably in the higher, more luxury bracket, I would have thought. And then you were telling me about the lights. Do you want to just demonstrate that by?
So we're talking about the service indicator
Yes.
lights.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
And that's these here. You've got 5 green.
Yep.
Then it goes into amber. Then goes into red.
Right.
And so this one's dropped one box now from a full.
Okay.
A full block there, and so I've got another 4 blocks to go before it then will need. I think on this cycle it's going to be inspection 1 will be the next one.
Okay, I've got you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just keep on.
And it rotates.
And then you get the stamp, the all-important stamp in the book.
Yeah.
Keep all the receipts.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a file that's massively thick.
Yeah, but you are Professor BMW.
It does. It does contain every single receipt. Anything I spent on the car gets put in the thing, which is nice because it builds up a whole history of the car.
Fantastic. I love it. Look, I'm really loving this car. I want to have a look around the back to see if there's some. Can I still get my golf clubs in the back of this?
Yeah, easy.
Guys, let's cut there. Let's go and have a look around the back. Before we jump round at the boot, which is what we said we were going to do, Richard just pointed out a very good thing that you should look for, and it's to do with the arches, yeah? That's what you were saying.
The wheel arch here has kind of got a lip on it, an internal lip.
Yep.
And it's a double skinned panel there. You've got the outer panel meeting with the inner wing.
Yep.
And that's a fabulous shelf for holding mud.
Mud and water.
Mud and water. So that gets left up there, and then the wind here gets mixed up with salt.
Yeah.
And then it gets wet.
And then
so it's like a salt poultice, like a rust poultice.
But so this one, it looks and feels absolutely perfect.
Yeah. So I keep on washing behind there.
Okay. There's nothing you can do about it. I suppose it's just a design fault.
I think you've got to keep washing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's always washed from you, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
If it's not, it'll just start to deteriorate.
And just before we go around the boot again, I love these alloys on here.
Yeah, they're unique to this car.
They really are nice. They're like no other BMW wheels I've ever seen.
I like the motorsport.
Yes, got motorsport on there.
Set in. That's really smart.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
The other thing with these cars is underneath on the body on the floor plan.
Yeah.
Is the seams.
Oh, okay.
The seams. What happens is they're all got like a rubber underseal on them from the factory, but moisture gets underneath it, starts to pull it away, and it starts to rust all the way on the seam.
Again, is this something that I can slide underneath, or if I got it into a garage, I could get it up on the ramp and just have a quick look?
Yeah.
So really, if you're buying it from someone, you want to say to them, do you mind if I stick it up on the ramp?
Absolutely.
Can I borrow it for half an hour, couple of hours?
Yeah.
And if they know there's nothing wrong, they'll just say, yeah, go ahead, take it.
Exactly.
Yeah. On that note, let's go and have a look at the boot. Right, so here we are round at the back, and I love the look of this car. It is so sexy with this tail up here. Is that a brake light along there?
No, it could be. This one hasn't actually got that as a brake light, but you could actually specify that to have a
Oh, you
brake
can?
light. You could, yeah.
Yeah, it does sort of look like it was
I quite
built
like
for
it as it is actually. BMW Motorsport's a bit
Yeah, it is a bit classy, isn't it?
niche,
I like
isn't it?
that.
Yeah.
And
So the I think what goes on around the back here. Well, rust issues are the major thing. One will be around this lock here
oh, okay.
and underneath that badge.
Yeah.
And actually, you can see that I've had that problem.
Oh, yeah.
I've
yeah.
touched it in myself, but fortunately, the
That's
colour
pretty good though.
doesn't show up. And also around the number plate aperture here.
Okay.
The other one is on the. It seems to be on the 3.2 more than anything else. Is the is this panel here seems to be quite weak, and you start to see that they split and then they're wobbling around. 3 litre seems to be stronger. I don't know why.
Weird.
Anyway, that's that.
No, I like that. It's cool.
The other
I've also noticed it's got sort of like, this is a diffuser, isn't it?
yeah, that's part of the M3
That's quite unique
styling.
as well.
That is
Yeah.
unique to the M3.
Twin exhaust here.
Yeah.
Really nice as well. How much would a new exhaust for one of these cars? Like a back box, for example, the back section.
Back section. Do you know, the last time I remember looking at it, I think they're about £400, £500. Yeah,
Yikes.
quite expensive. They do last forever.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But it's worth looking, obviously, when you got it up on the ramp again, you want to have a look underneath. And do they, you say they last a long time though, so it's not something I should really
Well, no,
worry
they
about.
do rot out, and of course now with the age of the car,
Yeah.
they are going to be going. And a lot of people go to stainless steel,
Ah, okay.
which personally I don't like very much. I don't like the noise, but a lot of people do.
I do.
So there you go.
Another story. Let's have a look inside.
Yeah.
So you said about that. Oh, it's quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
didn't
not a
realise it was that.
gas struts.
Either that or I'm losing a bit of strength. So it's big.
Good size boot,
Yeah.
and also the back seats will fold forward,
Yep.
so you can get your golf clubs in there, whatever else.
That's all I need. This and a set of golf clubs. I'm in heaven.
You're away.
And under here, what's that?
This
A
is
warning
this is
triangle.
this
or
is the toolbox,
toolbox.
toolkit,
That's brilliant. I love it.
which
Look at
actually
that.
is nice on this one because it's completely
So you want? So that should be on every one. If you
Yeah.
get this, it probably hasn't got all the tools in there.
exactly. They've all been robbed. So that's
I love that though. That's really cool.
and then in the back here there's a warning triangle, there's a
Yeah.
first aid kit, the wheel brace.
Yep.
And
Again, though, would you be looking for any rust in here? Is there anywhere I should be looking for any damage or?
no, I think when you get to this age of vehicle, you just got to be looking everywhere.
Yeah.
But and each car will be probably slightly different depending on what sort of life it's had.
Yeah, sure.
If it's been well garaged or
Being looked after.
looked after, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're pretty rugged.
Should we shut? I'll let you do that.
Um,
It does seem a solid car anyway. It's look, I'm even getting my hands dirty today. It's really good. I like that.
It is a solid car.
Yeah.
And the other thing when you come round to the side here is the sill covers.
The seal covers, yes.
They're shaped. That's BMW
Yeah.
M3, and also the mirrors, overtaking mirrors.
You've got the race mirrors on this as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aerodynamically shaped.
And no electric. Yeah, it has got electric windows on this, hasn't it?
Has
But the back one doesn't open.
this one's manual,
Right.
but you can get them with electric motor,
Oh, okay.
so that
Yeah.
they'll pop out.
All in all, I love this car. I mean, it's just a beautiful looking car. And,
Yeah.
and it comes with a factory fitted sunroof as well.
Yeah, we again optional.
Option.
Optional.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's electric.
So I think for the money, if you could get one of these for around what you reckon between 12 and 15,000 UK pounds.
Yeah, it's all dependent on mileage.
So if I got a low mileage, what would low mileage be? 60, 70,000?
If you could find one 50, 60,
Yeah,
70,000, that's pretty good.
for good money,
Yeah,
worth investing.
yeah, definitely.
And you see these going up in the next few years in value?
I do actually, yeah. I mean, they are compared to their to the next generation after them.
Yeah.
They tend to be lower. So as I think what happens is they become less and less of them around
Yeah.
because some are converted to race cars we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Some rot out. They've just been scrapped.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Accident damage, whatever.
So the more rarer they become,
The
more
price
they're
goes
worth.
up. Yeah, it's definitely the way
in
it
the
is.
words of Professor BMW himself, Richard Baxter. I've loved coming to your, well, we now affectionately named it the Playroom. Get my words out in a minute. There's so many little bits and pieces here, guys. You have no idea. But, you know, your love of Jags and old cars and especially BMWs. I mean, you must admit you're a bit of a BMW man, aren't you?
Definitely BMW man, and older British classics.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I know you love the classics. There's a few dotted around here as well. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that this has been a little bit enlightening in your quest to find your BMW, your M3. And there are a number of them out there, aren't there?
Yes, there are.
And you've described all the things to look for when we're out purchasing one of these cars. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment as always. We love that. And Richard, you're going to stay with me. We're going to do another video for you. We're going to bring that out in a couple of weeks after this one, so you don't get too much of Professor BMW. And we're going to go and take a look at some other interesting bits and pieces. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next week with something different.